Best of r/confessions episode 19. Subscribe for edit videos daily. I'm not happy my brother's having a baby. Me, F/24, brother, 22. Growing up in a Hispanic household is very sexist. The males are given more freedom while the females are confined. My mother is the most stubborn person and doesn't understand that she cannot raise her kids the way her parents raised her. Growing up I was never allowed to go to my friend's house or even hang with anyone outside of school. On the other hand, my brother was allowed to go out without a curfew and my mother never questioned him even though he's younger than me. My mother and I always butt heads about everything, and even when we got older she never admitted she was wrong about anything. My mother always made it very clear that if I got pregnant before I got married she would cut ties from me even though we're not traditional whatsoever. To add to that, she's the biggest hypocrite because she has 4 children with 3 different men. Recently my younger brother, 22, announced to the family that his girlfriend and him are expecting this November. My mother couldn't be more excited about the pregnancy. She brags about it to our friends and family how happy she is for my brother. She started buying baby clothes and parading them around the house. I want to be happy for my brother, but I know the baby will be a constant reminder of how unfair my life was compared to mine. Thank you. Next. Most uncomfortable hookup moment ever. Really short story. Only context necessary as we're both gay. I hit it off with a guy and he takes me to his house. Both aware that this is just a one night stand. We get right to it. I take off my clothes and just hear him say, "No." At this point I'm confused as hell and he stands up, takes me to his bathroom and proceeds to shave every single hair in my body, neck down. I'm not even that hairy. I mean I'm less than average and this still took well over an hour. As he finishes, he looks at me and says, "Attaboy, what the fuck?" And yes, he fucked me and yes, I regret it. Also, everything hurt the next day from razor burn. I had never shaved my body. Thank you. Next. I just had my first orgasm in my entire life. Despite being in my early 20s, I had never experienced an orgasm, right? And moving in with my parents for quarantine has made it so I haven't even tried masturbating within the past 120 days. 120 days. Yep, my parents finally agreed to leave me alone. I took an edible, and holy fucking shit. I had 10 mini orgasms followed by like a 15-second long orgasm. I literally couldn't move my hands for a few minutes afterwards because I had so much adrenaline running through me. I feel like I'm enlightened now. And what's worse, I'm like, not even done. It's like the sexually repressed switch switched. Holy shit. I'm like, floating. Edit. It happened again. Edit. Again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Next. My girlfriend broke up with me and I feel more relieved because I was never physically attracted to her. My ex-girlfriend now broke up with me recently and I honestly feel relieved. I can now pursue someone else, even if it's a lot of work. I was never physically into her. She and I have been almost best friends for years now. I truly love her but only as a friend. She has liked me for a few years now but we never dated. We've both been into other people too. She is a sweet girl who is very kind and caring, loves children, shares similar beliefs about life and philosophy as well. The reason why we never dated because I never fully felt physically attracted to her, but I decided to give it a shot after another close friend of mine pushed me to do it. I want to date and get married and have a family. My friend told me that she matches the kind of person that I'd want to have that with. We dated for 2 months, but even during that time I had a hard time dating her. We were still physical with each other, mostly because I was hoping the physical part will strengthen that lack of physical attraction. But I even noticed that when we were physical I had a hard time getting an erection. I tried but I found it difficult. I also found myself fantasizing about other girls. I was feeling like damn every girl I see is somehow more attractive than my GF. I tried to date her because I wanted it to work. I wanted to be into her but I simply couldn't get myself to do that. She is not ugly by any means but she is not my type or someone I find attractive. People say that looks isn't everything and I agree, but when I can't even get a boner because I'm not physically into my GF then that's a problem. Now that she broke up with me due to some personal differences, I honestly feel relieved. Now I can pursue someone I'm physically into. Thank you. Next. I hate being an American RN. The country was in a spiral and COVID-19 has really shown our leadership's true colors. I don't know what to do anymore. I just finished getting a degree and have spent months looking for a job with no luck at all. I'm sick of watching the news and watching everything turn into a political debate because a lot of us don't have compassion for their fellow human. I am not proud of being an American right now, and I'm sorry to the people outside of my country that see us as idiots that aren't taking this pandemic serious. I wear a mask everywhere I go. I wash my hands whenever I can, but I'll leave my house and see people not even try the bare minimum. I fear that I will get it no matter what I do, and my family will be deadly affected by it if I get it and happen to be asymptomatic. I live in fear because the leaders care more about the economy more than my life, and impatient stubborn citizens don't understand what following a basic humane rule is. I'm sorry that the United States is like this, and I'm even more sorry if you have a new stereotype of the typical American. Thank you. Next. I'm Catholic and I'm furious and confused about them getting $1.40 billion. I'm Catholic, and while I'm not sure how I feel about a lot of the aspects of my religion, I still technically consider myself Catholic. Yesterday, I believe, the Catholic Church in America was given $1.43.5 billion to cover coronavirus case expenses. It infuriates me because they lost a lot of money due to payment settlements towards victims of sexual abuse to priests. It feels like they're getting rewarded for bad behavior. The church also doesn't pay taxes, so why do they get tax money? This is also where my conflict comes in. Plenty of priests, most in fact, are great people, and plenty of dioceses have no corruption in them whatsoever, and I feel like those priests and people should get some sort of local, small business help. Especially since the priests are entirely housed and fed by the diocese, but I also don't think they should get copious amounts of money after they spend a ton of money towards their sexual abuse victims. I just don't know what to think. I'm very lost. If any of you all have any advice, please be kind. My religious belief is shaky at best as it is, and I have issues with a lot of things in Christianity and Catholicism, so please don't spam with comments like "here's a helpful tip, God isn't real," because those just make me more anxious about this kind of thing. Thank you. Next. I downvote any progress pic where the before isn't on the left hand side. How hard is that concept to grasp? Since some of you will want a real confession, sometimes I use the same plate 4 times without washing it.